If you have got personal money blocks, I guarantee you it's costing you in sales. And today I'm going to show you how to get through your personal money blocks so that you can close more deals. Hi, I'm Amy Walker, Client Acquisition Specialist. I help you find the simplest, most effective way to consistently acquire your ideal dream client. And today we are talking about money blocks. There's three things we'll accomplish in this video today. The first is I'm going to share with you how your money blocks are directly affecting your sales, because I promise you they are. Then I'm going to tell you kind of what are the most common money blocks that I see affecting people's businesses and their ability to close transactions. And then I'm going to share with you the strategies to get through your money blocks. So if you stay until the end, you'll have 5 different strategies that you can use to create some money breakthroughs so you can close more deals. Because I know that's why you're here. That's what you're looking for. If you are new to the channel, I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can get notified every time we release new content. Okay, let's talk about money blocks and sales and how these actually fit together. It's an interesting thing because I really grew up in a very black or white thinking kind of a family. We were not really into energy or mindset or any of this stuff. And so when I got started in business, that all felt a little bit woo-woo to me. People would talk about money blocks. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I have an issue with that. I don't think that's my problem. It was totally my problem. I had a big issue with it. And so what would happen is I had all of these thoughts and money beliefs inside of my head about people can't afford it, or, it's uncomfortable asking for money, or I can't afford this service. And so when they would tell me they couldn't afford it, then it was like, well, yeah, of course it's really expensive. And so I was losing sales left and right because I was bringing an energy of scarcity and lack into my conversations. Now, if you're somebody who gets energy, this makes complete perfect sense to you right now. If you're somebody who maybe you see the world as very analytical and very process oriented, let me try to explain it in a way that will work for you. We all know that there are vibes that we pick up on from other people. You're either going to be putting off a vibe that's empowering and that is encouraging and making people want to move closer to you, or you're going to be putting off a vibe that is distancing and is kind of pushing people away or pulling back. And in that space, that's what all of your money blocks do. So any personal money block you have, you bring to the table every single time. Every negative thought that you have, it comes to the table every single sales conversation. Scarcity or money beliefs that you picked up as a child, those, it's like putting them in your backpack and you bring them with you to the table every time you have a sales conversation. So these money blocks right here, as you learn to go through them, they're going to make a huge impact in your ability to transact sales and close higher ticket items. I'll be honest, when I started out my sales career, I struggled to sell something that was $50. Like a $50 sale felt big to me because at that point in time, my husband and I were poor college students and had a baby. I was graduated, he wasn't, but we had no cash. So $50 was a lot, especially to spend on something that was non-essential. It wasn't groceries, it wasn't diapers. So that was a lot to me. And I struggled to be able to close those deals. Well, now I can close a $120,000 deal. I consistently close like $10,000 to $20,000 deals. Those are like a sweet spot for me, and I do them on a regular basis. So that amount that you can transact is really affected by the beliefs that are going on in here. And I love the fact that when you break through that, it doesn't really matter how much it is. You can close that deal and you can close it consistently and really well. So let's talk about the most common money blocks that I see. One of them is scarcity. And scarcity shows up in a lot of different ways. It's there won't be enough time, there won't be enough money, there won't be enough people, just there won't be enough of any one thing. So pay attention if you have that type of language or thinking creeping up, because if you do, you got to use one of these strategies in order to move it out. The second one is related to leaving your tribe or your people behind. I see a lot of people struggle to close deals at a higher ticket level because they feel like they're leaving themselves behind. And I remember going through this. The first time that I offered a program that was larger than $25,000, I had some issues around it, because that was when I very first invested in my first business coach. It was a $25,000 investment. And I remember anything higher than that, and it felt like I was leaving behind myself when I was opening up my business. Fortunately, I had done a lot of money work, so I was able to identify it and move through it quickly. But I see this happen a lot. This is why a lot of people continue to undercharge, and they try to sell their services to people who don't really have money, because those are the people that they grew up around. It's the energy frequency that they're used to, that they were raised with, that has been around them in the past, or people that they've worked with before, when really their ideal client is more up here. But they're continuing to attract people that are down here because they're afraid to cut those ties with who they were in order to grow into what they want their business to become. And another really common money block that I see is the give and receive cycle. So you'll have these people who they give, they pour into, they feed into, and they're always helping, they're always serving, but they struggle to receive. What do you think sales is? Sales is receiving. This is when you actually ask for something in exchange for all of the good that you're out there doing. So pay attention to things like when somebody asks you for help, what's your first response? Are you like, oh, no, it's okay, I've got it? Because if so, you're struggling to receive, and you've got to get that flowing. If you really want to be able to receive large amounts of money, there has to be a balance between your give and your receive. The last money block that I see that's really common is a perception about rich people, poor people. And it could be this way, it could be this way. Sometimes it's that poverty is somehow righteous and wealth is somehow evil. Sometimes it's that, people who are in poverty are in failure and only the super rich are successful and valuable. But we get this warped perception of wealth and poverty. And whatever that is, it can taint the way that you have your sales conversations. The reality is money is very neutral. I think it's a magnifier. If you have a lot of problems when you're poor and then you add a lot of money into it, you will have those same problems, but they'll be bigger. If you're a really great person that does a lot of good in the world when you don't have a lot and you add a lot to that, you are a really great person who does a lot and just has money to fund it. So money's neutral. But we tend to apply all of these beliefs to it. So if you're curious what some of your money blocks are, that's actually a great exercise to do, is to write money is and all of the good things and all the bad things that come to mind. And wealth is, write all the good things and bad things. But I'm leading into tools already, and that's supposed to be coming next. So let's just go there. Before we do, I do want to tell you about something that's really exciting that I have just released. It's a sales and marketing scorecard. So it's a brand new assessment that I've just taken. You get to go in and answer questions about your sales, about your marketing, about your systems and processes, and then you get a score. And based on your score, I will send you back a customized improvement plan that's about 8 pages long with detailed information on what you can do to improve your sales and marketing. So I'm really excited about it. I wanted to make sure that you all know about it. If you want to go ahead and take that, just click the link below. It's a free thing that we're offering right now to our YouTube subscribers, but it's definitely a very high value experience. You'll get a lot of good info out of it. So go check it out. All right, and on to our tools that you can use to create your money breakthrough. So number one is a money journal. What you do in the money journal is every day you give yourself $1,000 of fictitious money to spend. So the first day is $1,000, you write down everything you would spend it on. The next day is $2,000, you write everything you would spend it on. The next day is $3,000. The next day is $4,000, then $5,000. You will do this for a month. You'll get up to having to spend $30,000 a day every day. What this will help you to do is it will help you to combat scarcity of feeling like there's never enough and start seeing opportunities and seeing the good that you can do with the wealth that you create. It's a really powerful tool. Strategy number 2 is make up with money. I know I've talked about this one before on the channel and my kids tell me I sound crazy when I talk about this, but you guys, I was not friends with money. When I started out as an entrepreneur, money was the bad guy. It was always the excuse. It was always the thing that stood in my way between what I wanted. And I really had to make up with money. So I legit wrote a note and told money I apologized for all of the times I had blamed it, all of the times I hadn't been a good friend. And I asked money to forgive me. And I said, let's be friends and let's go and do great things together in this world. So make up with money. Step number 3 is to study the spiritual principles of money. There are a lot of great books that cover this topic. There's also a lot of great scriptures. I am Christian, and so I love some of the parables that are in the Bible. I love learning about when wealth was first introduced, like when do we first see gold and what was its purpose. I love the parable of the talents. I love the parable of the widow and her oil. There's a lot of great concepts in there that you can read and study that will teach you about what wealth really is supposed to be, what's the purpose for it, who is it for, and let me just give you a little secret hint, it's for you. If you're a good person doing good things, wealth is absolutely for you. So I believe that we have a spiritual stewardship that is given to us over our wealth, and we are meant to multiply. That's very abundant to me when I read about the spiritual principles of wealth. So I hope you'll go and check them out. Some good info in there. All right, principle number 4, I actually already kind of hinted at, which is writing down and journaling about the good side of money and the bad side of money and the good side of wealth and the bad side of wealth. The thing that is fascinating to me is I've done this exercise with many people, and as we go through and they start writing out, money is and the good side and money is and the bad side, a lot of times it almost sounds like they're describing a person. And when I ask them, I'm like, so who is this person you're describing? A lot of times it is like an ex-spouse or a parent or somebody that they had maybe a little bit of clash with regards to money, and they've taken all that frustration and they've, instead of putting it on the person, they've transferred it over to money itself. So pay attention to your relationships as you are working on that as well. Which leads us directly into principle number 5, which is you got to heal those relationships that are affected or broken or strained because of your relationship with money. When you have friction in your relationships, it bleeds into your business. And my husband and I have been married for, 19 and a half years. We'll be in 20 at the end of this year. I feel like that deserves a round of applause. But we have been through really prosperous times together, and we have been through really hard times financially together. And when you come through a hard time, you pick up a lot of emotion that you don't really process during the hard time. During the hard time, you're like, we just got to figure this out. We got to work together. We got to get, where we need to go. But when we come out the other side, it's almost like those old stories and experiences are still with us, and we have to forgive. We have to clean that up. We have to process and move forward so that we can stay happy and prosperous and married and in love and have only positive things flowing into our business. Okay, my friends, that is my tips on how to get through your money blocks. This is really, truly critical in your business. I cannot stress it enough that if you have personal money blocks and you are out there having sales conversations, your money blocks come with you into that conversation. So clean them up. I would love to hear from you. What did we cover in this video that was helpful for you? Are there any particular money blocks you can relate to, or any tools that you're excited to use? If you haven't done it yet, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification so you can be notified every time we release new content. Also, I would love for you to join me in my private Facebook group, The CEO Spot. It's a place to come and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs, and I post business tips every week, and we have good discussions that go on in there, and then we do some live trainings in there as well. So come join the community. We're excited to have you. Make sure you go get that sales and marketing scorecard so you can rank how your sales and marketing system is going and what you need to do to improve it. And I think that's everything. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day.